Hello, friends. Welcome back to Wide Angle and to the second episode of our analysis on the West Asian crisis in an Indian perspective. In today's episode, we look at the impact which the foreign wars have on the Indian streets, and we analyze whether the impacts which are felt on the Indian streets are linked to identity issues or are mere mobilization. In a globalized world, identity travels faster than geography. All of us know this. So, when a prominent religious or political leader in the Middle East is killed, reactions are not confined to that region. They echo globally through social media, diaspora networks, and emotional solidarity. And more often than anticipated, those echoes appear in Indian cities. Let's begin with clarity. In a democracy, protest is a constitutional right. No doubts, no questions on that. Citizens are free to express solidarity, dissent, or outrage. But democratic maturity also allows us to examine patterns. So, when protests emerge in response to foreign events, observers inevitably ask, what drives mobilization intensity? Is it religious affinity? Or is it global identity consciousness? Is it political organization? Or is it digital amplification? Or is it simply the visibility effect, where some events gain more traction online than others? Let us now look at the three major factors which motivates these protests. The first one is the religious and historical links. For many Indian Shias, Khamenei is not just a political figure, he held deep spiritual significance. Some protesters invoked martyrdom, symbolism rooted in Shia memory and historical narratives such as the Battle of Karbala, tying their grief to centuries old cultural traditions. Kashmir, for instance, has long standing cultural and religious ties with Iran, sometimes even called Iran e Sagir or Little Iran, reflecting centuries of Persian influence in art, language, and religious practices. The second one, that is the second factor, is symbolism over substance. For some, Khamenei's death became a symbol of perceived global injustice. Many protesters framed US and Israeli actions as aggression against the Muslim world, not just against Iran. These emotions transcend straightforward geopolitics. They are shaped by identity, historical memory, and narratives of dignity and resistance. The third one, which is a bit complex, is the identity politics versus contextual grievance. While identity politics plays a part with slogans and parties mobilizing support, for many it is deeper than partisanship. It is about shared religious narratives and inherited symbolism attached to religious leadership. That is different from political mobilization alone. It is rooted in cultural memory and worldview. If we observe, the protests weren't monolithic. They ranged from peaceful marches to public mourning, often organized by community leaders and even local political groups. There have been instances of domestic terror attacks in India, and this is where the contrast question arises. The terror attacks in India have been many, numerous, and very serious in nature. The 26/11, the Uri attack in 2016, or the Pahalgaon civilian killings, just to name a few. You could go on and name them. Public reactions to such events have varied in scale, form, and organization across different communities and regions. The question is not about assigning blame, the question is about understanding behavioral trends. Why do some events generate visible street level mobilization while others remain largely within institutional or digital responses. This is not unique to one community. Across democracies worldwide, identity linked events often trigger stronger emotional responses than geographically local but politically framed incidents. It is a phenomena studied in political sociology. The deeper issue may not be loyalty, but may be layered identity. Modern citizens hold multiple identities simultaneously, like religious, national, ethnic, ideological, and in the present world, digital community based. When global events resonate with one of those identities, mobilization can follow. The real challenge for a democracy is not preventing identity, it is ensuring that identity does not override civic cohesion. And that leads to the larger question: how does India manage plural identities in a hyper connected world without allowing fault lines to widen? Democracies thrive on debate, disagreement, and freedom of expression, but they also rely on a shared sense of national responsibility and perspective. When global events trigger strong emotional reactions, the real challenge is maintaining a balance between solidarity with global causes and clarity about national priorities. The question, therefore, becomes deeper than politics alone. How does a diverse democracy like India maintain unity in an age of global ideological influences? That is the question we will confront in the final episode of this series. Thank you for being with us. Your ideas and comments are always welcome. We look forward to seeing you next week, same day, same time, for the third and the final episode of this series. Till then, this is Partha Banerjee wishing you all the best and signing off at the wide angle.